Hey, what's good, everyone? I just wanted to make a couple announcements before the show starts. So you'll notice on this video, I actually ended up screwing up the Blue Yeti next to Matt Myers and Matt Madrid. So Matt Myers is going to sound kind of wonky throughout the video. So sorry about that, Matt. And because of that, I ended up removing the background music. And also because we got a lot of feedback recently, I'd say about 50% of our viewers wanted us to take it out. So we went ahead and experimented with that. So let us know if you like it. Leave a comment and let us know. We also went with the shorter format overall, so we're skipping the recaps for this week, and we just went right into the previews for Iowa State and for college football as a whole. So subscribe if you can. 65% of our viewers are not subscribed right now, and that would really help us so that we could have a more consistent setup for the show. So we'd probably eliminate a lot of these like green screen issues and mic issues that you see popping up. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the show. Peace.
What's going on, fellas? It's game week. The number 19 Texas Longhorns are traveling to Ames, Iowa to take on the Cyclones. Brock Purdy, Matt Campbell, all those boys. We don't have much animosity towards these Cyclones, but it should be a good game.
That was the
Jack Trash.
The horn.
The Cyclone horn?
Yeah.
I know you're talking
I
about.
thought you were just happy or something.
Oh, no.
There's a tornado.
No, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah. Let's get right into it.
Wind been blowing on my back. I was born to bring trouble wherever I'm at. I was born in the soul of misery, and I never had me a name. They just gave me a number when I was young. When I was young.
All right. So we're an underdog this game. We're
Shocker.
seven point underdog.
Ooh.
But you know what I say about Herman underdogs, though? No, I was kidding.
Hey.
No, that's out the window.
He's lost
That's
that card.
no longer a thing.
He can't carry that card anymore. Ever since LSU.
But I guess they're getting that number from home field advantage and weather.
Well, and also we've been horrible on the road. Piss
Piss
poor.
I guess so. I mean, we always own them at home, though.
Well,
I feel like
past couple games we did.
Tom Herman so far has really messed up well against Iowa State and
Yeah.
Matt Campbell. We've really had no problem with them the last 2 years, and 3 years back with Charlie, we even handled them then. It's just Matt Campbell's teams so far have been favorable matchups for us. We've been able to sniff out Brock Purdy. We did last year. He was ineffective. But this year, they look a little bit more dynamic. They lose Akeem Butler, lose David Montgomery. But
They had speed.
The offense is scoring more points than they did last
Yeah.
year. They just put up 41 on OU. They got boys like their receivers are all really good. Tariq Milton.
Yeah. He's really what they sacrificed in like height and physicality, they got back in like speed.
Right.
And then the running back Breece Hall. He's no David Montgomery, but he's pretty good.
Over 100 yards against OU, so.
And then Brock Purdy, he ran the ball 15 times against OU, and he looked really good. He broke some people's ankles. Did y'all watch the OU Iowa State
No,
game?
I actually didn't get to catch it.
I only saw the very end when they were
me too.
driving down to win.
You see Brock Purdy break that guy's ankles?
Yeah.
Is this guy low-key athletic?
We've known that
Deceptively
though.
athletic, too.
He deceptively.
He's kind of like he's got a Sam Ellinger vibe.
I just did analysis.
Ooh. Yeah. No. He's. Well, I just said it. He's kind of got a Sam Ellinger type style to him in a way.
Yeah.
Not as much of a power runner, but he's definitely mobile. And is throwing really well right now.
Five touchdowns in that 1 point loss, and I mean against.
5 touchdowns?
Yeah, he threw
19
5.
of 30, no picks.
No picks. Yeah, and that's what made me really nervous. I mean, yeah, our secondary might get sliced and diced a little bit, depending on game script.
Hopefully
but
it snows.
hopefully, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the weather aspect might be in our favor a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
if it's
gonna look
super
this up
cold
right now.
and maybe snow, I don't think it will be snow. I don't know what the odds of that happening,
Ames,
but
Iowa,
I don't know.
Saturday.
I mean,
cloudy. Precipitation 20%,
I'm gonna say no.
What's the temperature?
37.
Nah.
That's the high,
Oh, okay, cool.
but
That's the high.
it is
So
an
beach weather.
afternoon game. It's not a night game. That might be in our favor.
Yeah, it's tough to go in.
But I mean, it'll get to 32 at night. Okay, but it's not going to snow. It's not going to snow. Yeah, unless something happens. But yeah,
And Iowa State under Matt Campbell really been known for more than their offense, their defense. And they lost a lot of players from last year, but they returned Marcel Spears. They have players. They did give up 42 to OU, but
They got to him 3
everybody
times.
gives up
yeah,
points to OU.
right.
And I think their defense is good, but kind of like Kansas State, where their defense is good, but nothing that we can't expose if we execute.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they get turnovers. I mean, they have a decent fumble and interception rate this year at 6 and 7 respectively. They got to Hurts like 3 times. So I mean, it's not a defensive at home about, but it's definitely like serviceable. But I'm more worried about Brock Purdy just tearing us up in the secondary. It's just a year of experience with him. He knows the system a little bit more, and just the how vulnerable we look there. But yeah, but I think they're pretty average on that side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a tough game to win because they're coming off one really close loss at OU, which would have been a huge win for them. They would have won in Norman twice in a row, which would have been insane. Came out of that
That's right.
2-point conversion,
Yeah,
which I kind of
that was total pass interference.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
blatant.
It's like textbook pass interference. I was disgusted.
So, and that screwed. I could have screwed us because if Baylor wins Saturday and then we end up
What
winning
that
out
would
or
have helped
whatever-
us if OU lost.
Yeah, if OU would have. That's what I'm saying. If they would have called
Oh,
that.
it screwed us
Oh,
that
yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, because we need OU to lose,
Mm-hmm.
or now we need to win.
Yeah,
this
now we
week.
just
But-
want to win
But
out.
last week we needed OU to lose. So
Right.
this whole Big 12 standings it's always changing right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, Iowa State's lost to OU by 1 in Norman. Then they also lost to Oklahoma State at home by 7, and Oklahoma State was in control of that game for most of the game. So it's hard for me to believe that.
And
Matt
there's been other
Campbell-
games too throughout the season that they've been exceptionally close.
They play good teams pretty close. Like, they make it
Yeah,
interesting every single
exactly.
time.
Baylor they fell down early, but they came back and had that game like in their grasp to win in Waco, and they blew out TCU, they blew out West Virginia, they beat Tech in Lubbock by 10. So
Mhm.
this team is going to give us all we can handle. They lost to Iowa, but Iowa literally owns Iowa State.
Barely
It's
lost
to
that's
Baylor.
a fact.
I was like, yeah, it was that rivalry was pretty
That's the little
one-sided.
brother
Yeah.
syndrome.
And that was at the beginning of the season too. Like
Yeah.
they've definitely been on the up and up. I'd say as the season has progressed, they've continued to get better, which is always scary. Those are the teams that you got to look out for. Then they
Yeah.
barely lost to Baylor back in September. So
I wish we could have played them early in the season because they always every time under Matt Campbell they always start slow and then just kind of like
Yeah.
finish strong and just keep on getting better and knock off some good teams along the way. And it could be us. I mean, I don't see them losing 3 games in a row.
yeah,
So it's gonna be really tough, especially at home when they're at home in that crowd in the cold in 30-degree weather.
They're weird
They have
ass.
a good fan base. It's gonna be a tough game.
So
to win.
far north, man.
Yeah, it's a Big Ten country. We're playing in the Big Ten West Saturday.
Midwest.
So
It's Midwestern hospitality.
yeah, so Iowa State brings a lot of challenges to the table, but like I was saying, I think it's been a good matchup for us recently. I think Orlando knows how to really stifle their offensive attack, but if they're smart, they'll use their fast receivers and get them in space. So that's when hopefully the weather comes into play. But
Make it a ground and pound type.
yeah, and they also use their tight ends. I remember OU fans on Twitter were livid about how their tight ends would just get open and just make plays all night long. It seemed like, especially in the second half. So I feel like the tight ends we have to really contain them. Otherwise, it could be just like a backbreaker, and you see those missing tackles against tight ends, all that nonsense. So keep those guys in check for sure. But the good news is we get Chris Brown back
Yes,
from
sir.
injury
In a cast.
in a cast.
He's gonna wear the club.
Yeah,
Nice.
one of those things that
Hit people.
just
Yeah.
punch the ball, get the ball loose. Do we know if it's that or?
I have no clue actually.
Like a club.
Yeah,
I would assume it's a club.
It looks-
perfect for the cold weather too.
That's an advantage, bro.
It is.
Like, he's like a
Unless
blunt
you're
object.
like a
Pick the ball
defensive
up.
lineman or something,
Yeah.
where you gotta like
Yeah.
grab onto things, but it might slow him down too. I don't know. I mean, he doesn't play a ton of snaps, but still happy to get him back.
Yeah.
He's got big hits in him.
No, yeah, that energy he brings, and he'll play. I mean, he came on lately before he got injured. Like, he wasn't getting many snaps until like the few games before he got hurt.
Yeah.
But he's making plays for us. It's really physical, and he's really good in the box. And when you look at our defense now with him back and Foster back and Stearns back, really pretty healthy. Outside of Josh Thompson, and I think we'll have McCullough back too. He practiced.
Yeah,
He's
Cole's
been
gonna
practicing.
be back.
DeMarvion will probably be back, but even so, he didn't really play that much to begin with earlier in the season.
Right.
He's kind of like an actual backup, but like he's a good backup. But other than that, we really have no injuries to complain about on defense. It's just
Nah.
Josh Thompson, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
Good stuff.
luckily, our defense is finally getting some fortune with the injury bug. Offense, hopefully we get Colin Johnson. To
Yeah,
play.
that's kinda
I think he'll play
scary.
through it. He's got to put something on film for these. Actually, he doesn't have to. He could just get signed as a free agent and then make money in the NFL.
If he had the like, he flashes the talent, and if he had the tape, like, it'd be a surefire, like,
Yeah.
first, second round pick for sure. But
Yeah.
it's just hasn't come together this year at all.
He'll be a late
Slowed down
guy,
by injuries.
unfortunately.
Yeah, the injuries really just.
He's got that Senior Bowl coming up. Him and Duvernay and Brandon Jones. I believe that's it. Maybe
Yeah.
one more player. Got the Senior Bowl invite, so that'll be big for each of those guys. Get to show.
I mean,
up in
as
front
of late,
some
our
scouts.
undrafted guys have been doing pretty well in the NFL. I don't know if they just evaluate our players or something like that, but I don't know.
We've had a bad rep. I feel like. NFL
as of
wise.
late.
A couple of Jordan, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm more
Malik
talking about
Jefferson
like
just got cut today, I think, by the
Yeah.
Browns as of recording, which really sucks.
Should
But
say-
no,
He
no,
should
no,
have.
no. Bright side,
You
Puna
gotta-
Ford
gotta
is
respect
looking
that. Yeah.
looking like a stud.
Puna's elite.
Oh man,
Yeah,
We all knew that,
Yeah.
though. The
They-
scouts didn't, though.
they stole him.
Holden Hill
Yeah.
is doing amazing
Chris
too.
Boyd too.
Yeah, bro.
Michael Dixon, the OG, Aussie,
Yeah,
still
so
looking good.
I don't know. I think a game like this, we can't have Sam throwing interceptions. It's the team that'll make you pay.
No.
And then whenever we do force turnovers, like I said in the last episode, Text Platinum, we have to capitalize on, especially in a hostile environment. Like, you can't leave points on the board, especially with Brock Purdy and Matt Campbell. Like, we have to have Sam playing like he was playing before the OU game, and just bringing that energy and that just the smarts, and just making the right decisions.
If it's cold again, we need another like dominant running game. With Keontae
Yeah,
showing
right.
for sure. Because if it's cold, it's gonna be ground and pound running, like really physical. This is really another game where we can show off that, or Keontae can show off that. So that'd be very, very needed.
Yeah, and we do get, well, we should at least get Whittington back this week. Looking like he's going to play, but of course, no guarantees. I think we said that last week as well, and he didn't. But that's fine because he shouldn't rush coming off an injury like that. I think I read somewhere that he was still like kind of experiencing some pain, so don't want to push that. But yeah, that might be an interesting weapon to throw into the mix. Have a bit of a different running type style.
I'm
but
dying to see him
Keontae-
play, bro.
Keontae did show a lot of flash last week, so if that can continue, that'd be awesome. And then, of course, Rashawn has shown that as well. So, yeah, I mean, running game-wise, if we can continue what we showed last week, that would be huge. Much needed for this team.
Let's talk about this game in terms of like what it means for the standings and positioning for the Big 12 title. This is a must-win game for Texas. It's pretty well known that Texas has to win out really to get in the Big 12 title, and it starts with Iowa State and Ames, and then also the other major. I guess we can talk about this when we do our picks, but OU plays
Yeah.
Baylor in in short, we need OU to win to control our own destiny again.
Definitely.
So Texas really, like Herman's been saying, we're really on the ropes. We really have no room for error now. We even need some help now to get the Big 12 title. Hopefully win that and go to the Sugar Bowl.
Or Alamo Bowl.
If we
'Cause
win the Big 12, we go to the Sugar Bowl.
Oh yeah, if we win the Big 12.
Contractually obligated.
Yeah, no.
Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, man, I don't make the rules here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we win.
If we even get there, hopefully.
Right. We better. Well, if we don't, then we don't. But
yeah, how y'all feel about this game? I mean,
are we already going into picks for it, or
Tell
are we
me-
just
I don't
any
know,
other
there's kinda-
talking points?
Should we go into picks? I mean, I really don't know much about Iowa State in terms of personnel. I just know like what they are with Matt Campbell and like another how they do typically in terms of like trends in the season. I don't see them losing 3 games in a row very often,
No.
especially late in the season and at home.
Yeah,
That's why that's why Vegas has this
Yeah.
as a 7-point dog.
Even though they were on a 2-game losing streak, that changes a lot for me, like score-wise. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. The past couple years,
I mean,
we really handle our business
Yeah.
against them. It's always every time I feel like every year we go into this game, like man, like Iowa
Yeah,
State, man,
exactly.
like. And even at the beginning of the year, I was like, oh man, watch out, Iowa State could make some noise. I feel like a lot of people were saying that, but they always get out to that slow start, and they kind of get better towards the end of the season. But I don't know, we just don't ever have trouble. Like it always feels like it should be one of those field goal games, but we always win by at least a touchdown or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could definitely
And we
see
do,
this.
and even though we might not blow them out, it's still, eyeball test wise, it's pretty convincing.
Yeah, I'm sure we have them on talent wise. I'm sure we'll cross the
Oh,
board.
definitely.
We're better.
And I think part of that reasoning is kind of, if you guys watched the Kansas State recap video, kind of for a similar reason. I think they have a very similar type offensive defensive system as us, and while that might work against other Big 12 teams to be a little bit more physical or more methodical when it's playing Texas, where Texas does have the talent advantage, that might not show up quite as much because it's same thing against the same thing, but the thing that's more talented is going to be the one that's not as talented. So I think part of it has to do with that. But yeah, I mean, like I'm looking at their stats right now, and
it's not amazing,
very-
right?
no, but I mean, it's very similar to, maybe the numbers aren't quite as big with some of their star players, but I mean, it's very similar to what Texas puts up. Kind of a similar system with the players being distributed the way that they are, and yardage totals and stuff is very comparable.
They ran 2 trick plays where the receiver threw passes last week against OU, so that's going to be important to neutralize that. To make sure the receivers don't get past us, after.
Yeah, that's the fear, of course. But
Right, so. I mean, we go into picks. I really don't have much more to say about this team. They have a good running back in Brees Hall, and Michael Petway's a good receiver. They always have good skill position players, it seems like, ever since Matt Campbell got there. And
Yeah.
I expect more of the same. Like I said, their tight ends are really good. So, yeah.
Let's just do it then. Let's get into it. So, of course, they're favored by 7. I really, given the history, I really don't think we lose this game at all. But since it's, I don't know, how the weather might be and how close they play really good, how close Iowa State plays good teams. I think it's going to be low scoring and a kind of a battle, but I have us at 28-24. We get the dub in this one, but it may not be pretty.
28-24.
What do you get?
So this will be my second loss prediction of the year for Texas.
I would die if we lose, dude.
I mean,
Might
of
not
course,
show
I
up.
don't want us to
It's going to be
lose.
painful.
I definitely don't. I really hope we win, and I hope this prediction's incorrect.
It's on your birthday?
Um,
hell no.
Oh, it's on your own.
Yeah, so if we lose, I'm gonna be sad for my freaking birthday.
That sucks.
So.
Oklahoma game was the day after mine, so
Oh, God.
At
damn.
least I-
I'm so sorry.
at least I got to celebrate the day before. But anyway, score prediction that I have Iowa State winning 35-31. What my reasoning for why we lose this game is a couple reasons. one, even though our defense definitely looked a lot better against Kansas State, we're still giving up the big play. Special teams wise, defensively, offensively, we haven't quite been hitting the big play like we were like against LSU and even Oklahoma State. So big play has been lacking when we need it, and when we don't need it, it's been a problem. And whenever you're playing a big time road game against an environment that's, you know, as special, I guess, as Iowa State, that is always something that shows up. The cold weather, as we mentioned, probably won't be snowing like we already said, but nevertheless, it's still cold. We're not quite used to that. Luckily, it's been a really cold week here in Austin, so I'm guessing Tom Herman's been getting the guys outside instead of in the bubble, practicing in the elements, which might help. But still, I mean, it's something that we're not used to. It's difficult for receivers sometimes to catch. Running backs, hits are a lot more painful.
I played football. I know how it is.
Yeah, handoffs are a little bit more.
Yeah, you played football, right?
Yeah.
We know how it
We
is.
all play football.
Yeah.
So quit killing us in the comments and
Yeah,
being
I
like,
played football.
y'all never played it down in your lap. We
I
have.
don't know about you, but I played football.
Thomas, you played ball, right?
In 7th grade, yeah.
Hey, see,
You still counts.
you played football.
Still
We all did
counts.
2 days.
We all did that stuff.
Small towns on dirt. We all did that. Not even kidding. We actually did that. We all slept outside for 2 days.
Yeah, man, we slept in chicken coops, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm serious.
No, they did.
We actually did.
Oh,
Y'all are laughing, but
y'all
we're
did?
not laughing.
No,
Yeah, our coach had the
I
brightest
didn't
idea.
do that.
Had the
but-
brightest idea to sleep with no AC.
Yeah.
One like bootleg ass fan that was just supposed to cool the whole like thing. Nah, man. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm bitter about that.
No, like we gotta continue on this.
Yeah, no,
one
this
of
is too
our,
good.
One of our teammates had his phone there. Like we were supposed to turn our phones in Friday before we went out. It was like a 4-day trip or whatever, 3-day trip. And one of our teammates smuggled his phone, to his dorm, really, to his bunk.
No,
And-
dude, it's chicken coop.
Yeah, to his chicken coop. And he was found. Like someone apparently spilled the beans that he had his phone. Some snitch on the team. And Coach Green comes in. He rings the bell. Like we're like at some
It's-
concentration camp or something.
It was in the middle of it's like Kerrville, right?
Yeah, it was too
Oh,
crazy.
okay.
It's 3 a.m. It's like
We got practice at 8.
nobody's.
Dude.
We're all sweaty in the chicken coop. Chicken coop's just like hating our lives. 3 a.m. He rings the bell, and we all have to go out to this field and just like line up in like an army formation, and like in our underwear.
That was miserable.
Nobody had clothes on except
Oh
for their
my
underwear, and it was like just like in the dirt. And then we just like stood there and got lectured about how we're just like soft individuals for like 45 minutes.
Dude,
3 a.m.
it didn't get cool, and I remember this. It didn't get like semi cool, like to be able to fall asleep till 1 a.m. every night. It was just radiating from the ground how hot it was here, man. Oh my god.
And then
It's
we
like
had
some
practice in
Remember
like
the
2 hours at
Titans type
5:30
stuff.
a.m.
Yeah, dude.
It was not a good time.
Oh.
Swear it was football. Yeah, it was like literally football camp from Remember the
Remember
Titans,
the
dude.
Titans.
No, it
Like,
literally was. Like I was so shocked we actually did that. Like it's
Did
totally.
did y'all go out to a grave site, like a cemetery,
I'm sure there's a cemetery out there though.
Yeah, we were literally.
Civil War cemetery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are brothers, killing each other.
How did we get to this point? The
I don't
conversation.
know.
How did we get to
Talking
this
to the
point?
comment, the guy who said we never played it down.
Oh, yeah. I played football.
No, we all took some hits.
Clearly, we have.
I have CTE.
Backtracking,
Probably do, dude.
backtracking.
All right,
Why I think we unfortunately might lose this game. Cold weather. Big play struggles. Sam continues to throw picks. That's a problem. Really, since West Virginia threw a pick, Oklahoma State, I'm pretty sure he threw a pick. OU he didn't, but he also didn't do much of anything against OU. And then these past 3 games, every one, he's thrown at least 1 interception, and it's always been a costly one, I feel like. So that until he breaks that trend, I'm unfortunately expecting him to throw another pick. And again, in a big game like this, that's a problem. And then Iowa State, coming off of 2-game losing streak. Both games were definitely winnable by their standards. They should have won against OU. That was disappointing. I felt bad for them to come back and drive all the way down the field and get what should have been a 2-point conversion. Kind of a dumb play call by the refs to not call pass interference on that 2-point. But, yeah, their backs are against the wall too. And I don't know. I got kind of this feeling in my gut that it's going to be a close game, but I unfortunately see Iowa State winning this game and us kind of showing up not quite as bad as we did for TCU, but it's got that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
In my gut, my heart, but gut too. Yeah. So
You said 35 what?
35-31.
Oh,
so
okay.
not a field goal, 4 points.
4 points.
But yeah.
All right, like I agree with you. Like looking at the next 2 games, honestly, at Iowa State is more daunting to me than at Baylor because I know our team will be up for Baylor. And
Yeah.
we know what Baylor is.
I'm not as concerned about.
Iowa State is been up and down, and their ups are scary. And they've had 2 down weeks in a row now, and they're due. They're not a team that's likely to lose 3 games in a row, like I've been saying.
They like
They're
to play
very well
Texas
coached.
too.
Rob
every
Purdy.
team does, but
Matt Campbell, I'm sure he wants to beat Herman in Texas. He hasn't done it since he's been there yet. He's
Yeah.
beaten OU. I almost beat him twice. He's beaten pretty much everybody in the Big 12 at least once or twice. And Texas is the one team he hasn't beaten. And I think because of that, I'm feeling optimistic about this game. I think we're a good matchup for Iowa State. It's like the last 2 matchups. Our defense is completely healthy. I could definitely see Iowa State winning this game, but I like how healthy our defense is. I think the leadership in our team is in a good spot, especially as we saw last week how we rallied. And you see Malcolm Roach so vocal and all the team just celebrating the win. I think our team is in a good space, like mentally and even physically. Like we're pretty healthy, and I think that'll lead us to a victory. I think it's gonna be 27-20, and it's gonna be a nail biter. But I think down the stretch we kind of just pull away. Defense makes some big stops, and I think we win a close one, live to fight another day in the Big 12, and move into the top 15 of the college football playoff rankings instead of a big game in the wake of the following week.
Game
Hopefully
day.
the Sooners win, and then we control our own destiny again for the next 2 games.
Let's get it.
So Texas 27, Iowa State 20.
I like it.
I was about to pick Iowa State, and I was like,
I thought
can't
you
pick-
were.
I was
I
like,
was
hell
too-
nah.
I
You're
can't
headed
pick
down
Iowa
that
State. We're
road.
too good of a match for them. We're too healthy, and we're against the ropes. And I like what
Yeah.
I saw us against the ropes.
Probably good one of us at least picked Iowa State though.
That's fair though.
We are a 7-point dog.
Yeah, I mean Vegas knows what they're doing.
Yeah, 71% chance of Iowa State winning. That seems really high.
That's too high.
I'm sure that line will drop a little bit. 7 points. That's I see I was winning, but I think there's money to be made on Texas covering.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
yeah, I mean that's it for Iowa State prep. We can really just hop into the other really 2 big games this week. We'll start off with OU Baylor. Yeah, so we can hop into the other 2 big games of the week, big matchups, top 15 matchups. We got Baylor hosting Oklahoma. College game will be in town. So, like we've been saying, we need OU to win this game so we can control our destiny in the Big 12. Who you got in this game, Matt?
Man, this is really tough because, I mean, as much as, I don't know, I want to say Baylor, them going undefeated really surprised me this year. Like, I did not see that coming at all. And I don't think they're scared of OU at all, and I think they can move the ball on OU pretty well, too. OU still has the X factor in quarterback, and, I mean, really offensively they do.
Yeah.
So I think this is Baylor's biggest game so far, right?
Oh,
it's
definitely.
a
Yeah,
chance
right?
to prove
Like
that-
to prove, it's like one of those prove it games.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Minnesota just have that prove it game,
Exactly.
and they proved it. So like, I'm kind of that when I saw that kind of took me back a little bit. I was like, well, maybe Baylor could. This is
Exactly.
Baylor's big moment too. But I'm gonna stick with the Sooners here. I think their offensive scheme is just too much for the Baylor defense.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on this. I know Baylor is a good team. Their defense is legit.
They're a great team.
Charlie Brewer's super clutch. They do what we did last year. They win games. It's not always pretty, but they win games.
Right.
But I think they're going to get caught eventually, and I think OU is a good team to do that. The thing that scares me about OU is Trey Sermon just hurt his leg. He's out for a season. They look so
that's true.
suspect. Even
That's
Jalen
true.
Hurts looked bad against Iowa State in the second half, and Baylor's got a better defense than Iowa State. It's in Waco. That stadium's going to be rocking. It's going to be a sellout. It's going to be a lot of energy around that game.
Is game day coming for them?
Yeah, game day's going to be there.
Yeah.
And if Baylor wins this game, they pretty much have us and then Kansas, who they'll beat.
Right.
And then they have to go one more game in the Big 12 championship against probably OU. If they win that, they're in the playoffs. So if they win, the playoff is in picture for is in play for Baylor.
It's just weird, dude.
Insanity.
Is this 2012?
Yeah.
What is this?
Considering all the
2011, whatever it was.
all the years when they're actually
wasn't.
really good,
2014.
Yeah.
close to making the playoff. But
I know.
So they have a lot to play for. But I just think OU's a better football team. I think that loss against Kansas State, I thought they'd rebound a little bit better against Iowa State. They didn't, but they still won. I think they'll come in super focused against Baylor. They'll have the underdog mentality. Baylor's undefeated. I think they'll go out and prove that Baylor, they're good, but they're not.
Let's have the better
Big 12
athletes, man.
championship
Yeah.
contenders. And I think OU wins convincingly by not convincingly, but I think OU wins by 10 points. So
Yeah.
Sooners. We need them to win, so go Sooners.
Yeah.
Boomer! Just say boo Baylor. You don't have to cheer for the Sooners. Just cheer that Baylor loses. Yeah, for me, the exact same sentiments as y'all. I think Oklahoma's going to win. Maybe not super convincingly, but I definitely see them winning. I feel like Baylor. I know I kind of made a little promise on this show that I'm going to keep supporting Baylor because they keep burning me every time I pick against them. But damn it, I'm picking against them. Oklahoma's definitely the more talented team, the more experienced team when it comes to playing in these bigger games. And just Baylor, I guess they've been really clutch. They have been really clutch. They've found ways to win every time. None of their wins this season, except maybe a couple, have looked actually convincing. They've all been pretty close. Pretty good comparison, comparing us to them to kind of what our team was last year from a stylistic standpoint.
They've been catchable. Yeah.
I just feel like they're finally going to stub their toe, and it's going to be against Oklahoma. A team that, and also, I mean, they, from a team talent perspective, they haven't played a top team really all season. So, I don't know. I mean, when you just go and you look at the record and you look at the final scores of each of their games, I mean, I kind of want to just pull it up right now and look.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Do you have it up?
By 3.
I mean, they
Iowa
barely,
State
I remember
by
they
2.
Rice by 7. I remember that.
That's weird.
That was a lock. Iowa State by 2. You said that.
Kill Baylor. I'm not Baylor.
Tech
Kansas
was a
State.
close game. Oklahoma State. That was kind of a surprising one.
Because look,
TCU
we're not
was,
talking about
of course, really close.
an undefeated Baylor team. It's just one of these 3 really close games, or 4 of these was just flips the other way.
Oh, easily.
You know what I mean?
Easily.
So I mean, I don't know. This isn't Florida State with Jameis Winston pulling it out of their ass
right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Baylor.
So I don't know. I feel like their loss is coming. They're gonna eventually fall from grace. They've been getting, not to discredit them or their players or anything, but I do feel like they've been getting kind of lucky, and
The Texas
that
Tech
finally
fumble,
ends.
They should have lost Texas Tech. Bad call, bailed them out.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're still way ahead of schedule. So us saying they're gonna lose this game, they're still 9-1 in year 2.
That's great.
Nothing to be ashamed of
3,
if
I mean,
they lose.
They're in a great spot.
They're still in a great spot if they lose.
They're strong players too.
Right.
So hopefully OU wins.
So that's our picks for that game, and then we're picking one more. You said.
Yes, another one. Georgia travels to Auburn. Kind of a big game in the SEC. If Georgia loses this, then that's another playoff contender out.
Time to talk shit about Jake Fromm.
Yeah.
Let's go.
the handsome game manager.
Yes. The handsome bus driver.
And I definitely think Georgia's the better team here. Obviously, the only thing that gives me a little possible concern is Georgia was shown to slip one against South Carolina. They didn't kill Notre Dame like we thought they would. So Auburn's defense is still really good.
Yeah.
Bo Nix is definitely an X factor. Yeah, he's still young. I mean, I was talking about this earlier. I mean, who has more effect on the game, Bo Nix or Jake Fromm? Bo Nix or Jake? I don't know.
I really don't know.
Exactly.
Depends on how Bo Nix plays.
Exactly. So that's why I can
It's a
see
mixed
Auburn
bag.
winning this game. Man, but like it feels like a dumb, like not being smart if you don't pick Georgia here. But nah,
It's not Auburn.
yeah, I was about to say
It's
nah.
not
We're going
Auburn,
Auburn here. I'm picking Auburn, bro.
Let's go.
I like their defense better, and they're gonna. I feel like they have more of a reason to get up for this game.
Yeah.
So, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great matchup. Honestly, I love this
It's
rivalry.
so
I
good.
think it's Deep South's oldest rivalry. That's what they call it.
Really?
Is it really?
It's Deep South. So, I mean, it's gonna be a pretty hectic environment. Jordan Hare Stadium. Last time Georgia was there, that was the year they went to the national championship. They were legit, and they went to Auburn Stadium. Auburn wasn't even that good. I mean, they're pretty good. Auburn went with the SEC championship, but they went in there and got killed by Auburn. So Georgia has trouble playing Jordan Hare, at least recently. So I think because of that, and Bo Nix and that defensive line, and they got Anthony Schwartz on the outside super fast. So I think it's gonna be one of those Jake Fromm days where you just can't do anything. You know, every fourth game you'll have like a lighted up day.
Yeah.
But the other 3 games he'll just be like average, and I think against Auburn they'll take advantage of that. I think Auburn gets it done at home, knocks Georgia out of the playoff. Probably not, because if Georgia still wins the East and beats LSU in the title, they'll probably still get in, which is stupid. But
Yeah.
hopefully knocks Georgia out of the playoff. So yeah, I got Auburn.
So I'm picking Georgia. It's actually one of my locks for the week, which I guess I don't know. I mean, none of us have been doing well with locks, so I don't know. Georgia's the better team here. Georgia's the better team here. They're the more experienced team. They've been in these higher stakes situations. Auburn, they've been really up and down this season. They've had moments where they look really, really good. They've had moments where they don't look really, really good, where they look average. It is at home. And Georgia, I guess, has had up and downs this year too. I don't know. It for me at the end, like Auburn's inconsistency is something that outweighs Georgia's inconsistency. So I'm going with Georgia, and I do think they're going to cover, which we'll go over when we hit locks
Okay.
right now.
Oh, nice.
All right, let's start off with Matt Madrid. Mr. Madrid, who's been on a cold streak recently. Tell him how you've been.
And a bad.
All right. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I am 1-5 the last 3 weeks. So I started off really hot out of the gate.
You
Actually,
did.
I was really on
You're
fire.
like
I was feeling
undefeated,
myself.
right?
Yeah,
4-0.
I was
Yeah.
4-0, bro. I ain't, but
He was our man.
man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like these past few
grace.
weeks, I'll check the scores and just throw it away, man. So I'm only gonna do one pick this week because don't judge me. I need to get on the scoreboard, all right? Like I need to get in the win column. So I picked the easiest game, all right? Ohio State is favored by 53 against Rutgers, all right? Even with Chase Young
Boys did
out,
not cover.
don't say that.
53 points.
It's doable, bro.
It is doable.
It's
doable.
possible by the end of the first
It
quarter.
wouldn't shock me.
Ohio State has like 35. All right.
No, 42.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I don't think Rutgers could even like get close to the goal line, okay? Even with Chase Young
Get, like,
out.
a field
So, that was my lock. They told me not to get sad about it. You gotta get real confident about it. So I'm confident. I slammed the table. I'm sorry, but I'm confident that they'll win by 53.
All right, real quick, since you have them covering 53 points, what's like your actual score prediction for this game? Because Ohio State could score 100 if they want.
Yeah, no, it'll at least. I'm gonna be honest, with you, bro. They're gonna get like 70.
Have they been-
70, like
77.
I was about to say, like 77, 72.
Have they been pulling Justin Fields at all in these blowout games?
No.
They've just kept
No.
him
I
out.
don't know.
No. No,
Maybe
I'm
maybe
positive.
this is the week they pull
Yeah.
out.
they haven't.
Dude, this man, Ryan Day, is cutthroat. They ran an onside kick
Yeah, he's a
up
killer.
21 against
That was
Maryland like last
ridiculous.
weekend. Like, what? They want to embarrass kids. Like,
Yeah,
Shut
that's
up.
why I'm so confident in this one. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what I said last week.
they want to embarrass Rutgers.
And the week before.
All right.
And the week before.
All right, good pick. I like
Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
That's very bold of you.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm really going on a limb here.
Yeah. Ohio State cover train till you die, till the grave.
Yeah. They haven't not covered.
Yeah, they
I
have.
think all season.
Hell yeah.
All right, I got two. I got Florida -7 at Missouri. Missouri just struggled with Georgia, and Florida just blew out Vanderbilt 56-0. Kyle Trask is that guy. He's really good, and I think Florida is the type of team that wins every game they should win, and then loses the big one, like Jim Harbaugh. kind of has that vibe right now with Dan Mullen.
Yeah.
So I think this is a game they should win, and they'll do it convincingly. And I think Florida covers -7. And then Bama's lost to LSU. First regular season loss in like 3 years or something. You know they got to be mad. You know Nick Saban is angry. You know how he uses losses to motivate his team.
Took the Mercedes.
He says, "Let's use this loss. Let's use this loss as fuel." That's what he says, probably. No, he actually does say that. So they travel to Hail State, who's not very good. -21. That is a layup.
Well, it's gonna get ugly, dude.
Yeah.
Unless Tua doesn't play.
That's a guarantee.
But Tua's gonna play. You know how it is. So Bama wins this game. They might cover this twice. They might win by 42. I don't know why it's so low. Maybe Hail State's got something cooking recently, but I don't think so.
Nah.
So those are two surefire locks.
Gumbo.
I'm 16-8 in the season. That's like 2-1. So
Yeah, he's carrying us.
everybody else,
He's got it.
I'm the
He's
one
got it
constant
going
right
on.
now. I'm trying my hardest to keep this thing afloat.
Yeah.
I'm about to fall down too. So
I like both those picks. I gave you one of them
yeah, you gave me the Hail
for your
State.
credibility. So I'm picking 3, keeping that tradition alive. I went 1 and 2 that last week, so at least I got a win. Not a shot at you. I went 0 and 3 last week.
I'm
so.
out of here, dude. Y'all have a good day.
But,
No, you keep talking.
no, I went 0 3. Yeah, so so I got Georgia. Covering against Auburn, as I already said. I don't see them winning convincingly, but I do see them covering more than 3. At least that's what I have written down. Minnesota, Iowa. Minnesota goes to Iowa, play the Hawkeyes. Row the damn boat. Has been rowing that damn boat like nobody's business. Really kind of smacked Penn State around, which I did not expect at all. I don't think anyone did. And now they're a dog against Iowa. I know Iowa's a tough place to play at. 3-point dog. Hit the over. Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel pretty confident in this team right now. They've actually shown quite a bit, and they look really good. Coach just got that big extension. Everything seems to be going in the right direction. On a collision course with Ohio State. So yeah, I have them covering. And then last pick, Memphis 10-point favorites at Houston. Houston sucks. Memphis is pretty good. Beat SMU. Not handedly, but they beat them kind of outright. They're only 10-point favorites. I think they'll cover this game. Win by at least 17. So those are my locks. Hopefully I go better than 1 and 2.
All right. Good show, guys. We're going to get out of here.
Yes. Let us know what you think about. We divided up the 2 shows this week. Did a recap video, did that separate. Then did a preview video, did that separate. Got a mustache for Movember. Donate. All for a good cause. That's why I'm doing this. This isn't by choice. It's all in the name of men's health. So, yes. Y'all have a good week. Be on the lookout for the Iowa State game. Should be fun. Should be interesting. Hopefully the Longhorns get a win. But until then, we will see you next week, and y'all be good to yourselves.
Oh shit. You're taking things, but it's all good.
Longhorn Nation, we're back!